Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to help support this channel, it won't cost you anything. All you got to do is use the links in the description if you want to get any of this paint or tools that I use in this video. Here's the garage floor. It looks dirty, but it's not really dirty. I cleaned it and vacuumed it and tried to blow everything out. Power wash this as good as I can to get all the bad stuff off. I painted under the washer and dryer before I'm doing this. So that's all done. Washer and dryer was put on about 5 days after that was painted. All this has to get painted. I'm gonna cover over some rust spots. And this is DuraGrade rust bullet. It comes in this can with this lid so that this will not come off. Comes bubble wrapped and then again inside another cardboard box. So super, super good packaging. Cannot wait to do this. One thing you're definitely gonna need is a stir like this that I'm gonna be putting in a drill. And I'm just gonna stir this really, really good to make sure the epoxy and the paint and everything mixes up really well. Got the garage door open, as you can see from all the light coming in. And I am talking through a respirator now because this stuff is really, really strong. I'm gonna show you everything you need. You screw gun with a mixing attachment like I have. You need your paint, obviously. I would get a blower or something to blow the air out of the house. Ventilation, as much as you could possibly have. Paint brush, paint bucket, or coffee can, doesn't matter. But I have a 2.5 inch angled brush. I would use a good roller cover though. I use a Worcester American Contractor 3/8. Something that's gonna not be cheap and not be the best, because you don't need the best, you're not doing walls, but you do want something from a good brand, whether Worcester or Purdy. I'll link everything. Only use Worcester roller handles. Got my handy paint tray with the liners. If you could still get these, this is amazing. Got my handy paint bucket with the liners. I've been using those for years. As you can see, they're all covered in paint. Put it on low just to mix it. Put it in. Basically just start moving everything around. You can see the gray starting to come up. Switch to number 2 on the drill, which I just did. You see it's very fast, so you got to be ready for this. You're going to see that all the light colors are going to come up from the bottom, and it's all going to start mixing together. So don't stop when you think it's gray, when you think it's mixed. Just when you see it like this, it's not mixed, because you're going to see all these other colors start to come out, these pigments, and then they're going to just mix in. So mix it for a good 5 minutes if it was clear the way you saw it when I first started mixing. When it's clear and all the epoxy's at the top, that means you really, really got to start mixing it good. Keep in mind, once you do this, you want to use this whole can of paint. You do not want to put a cover on this and try to use some later. You want, once it's mixed, I would use the whole thing at one shot. You'll put it in the paint tray if you want, so it doesn't go all over the place. Just let it drain in the paint tray. And yeah, just take some, put it inside your paint bucket, and edge the whole room. Do all the edges. And then when you're done doing all the edges, you can roll it out with a roller. Okay, so I really want to show you quickly what I did. I painted under here, all under the sink, around the hot water heater, on the ground, around the cabinet, all the way down the sides, down the edge. I'm gonna roll over this, did the corner here, trimmed everything out, like I said. And basically, all you gotta do is just roll it out at this point. So use a 9-inch roller, use a roller cover, mix the paint one more time, pour it in, and get yourself an extension pole, whatever length, you know, however tall you are. I have a 4 to 8 foot that extends, Worcester that clicks on. Make sure everything is ready to roll. And at that point, either roll from front here to the back of the garage so you can get out the back there and just walk outside and come in the house another way. Or you can roll yourself into the garage by rolling the outside of the garage and just come all the way in until you get yourself to the steps or to the door. Go in the house, go in the door. So there it is. This is about 200 square feet, and the gallon of paint, the can says it covers 200 square feet. So I will let you know what this looks like when it's done. I'll show you what it looks like after one coat. It's about 2:30 in the morning. Just finished up before. Let it sit for a couple hours. It's still a little bit tacky, but it's not coming off when I go to touch it with the gloves. It looks brighter over there, a little bit thicker. So, you know, different parts of the concrete just absorbed it a little bit differently, but I can walk on it right now. It's not really sticky. I could feel it a little bit sticky, but you could see over here, especially here where my shadow is, this whole area here, you could feel it kind of, it looks brighter, right? It looks like completely coated here, but then it looks even better coated. Sorry, my respirator keeps coming up. So it looks good here. And when you don't look at any, if you don't look at this, like this whole area looks good, but like this area looks really good. So, you know, it just, I might have put it on a little bit thicker there, and you can see right here where it overlapped. So I'm going to give it a second coat anyway, but I mean, it looks really good. Like, don't get me wrong, it really, really looks good. The steps came out amazing too. This is what it looks like finished. I actually forgot to make the video showing what it looks like when I did it. And This is a couple months. This is how it's holding up unbelievably well. A little dirty from all the landscaping and all the tools and everything, but man, is this holding up well. It actually looks glossy all the time. It looks, you know, like you look at it, it looks kind of shiny. Over there, it looks like it's wet, but that's just normally how it looks. Everybody that comes asks me, he's like, oh my God, is there water on the floor? Is it wet? I said, nope. That's how it looks. So it always looks glossy. It always has a nice sheen to it. You put your foot down and it just won't move. You're like, I'm trying to push my foot forward and back and it just stays. This is all just dirt and dust and water and stuff, and it basically just rinses right off. Did the steps going up to the house, did everything under the washer and dryer, and this is how it looks. Again, when you're going up the steps and it's slippery at night, I'm moving my foot back and forth. It just will not lose traction. It's so sticky. It's unbelievable. You don't have to put sand or grit or anything in it. Like, this is hands down the best paint I've ever used for a garage floor. An oil change on top of it, got everything on, it wipes right off. Any kind of dirt or anything from the tires coming in, wipes right off. Just to prove what I'm saying is true, this is basically like water and paint that was mixed in the paint sprayer that was just sitting for a week and a half in the 90-something degree heat. And I'm just spraying literally just soap and water out of here that I use for window tinting. Just a little bit of soap and water. Okay, and you can see it. It is literally just wiping right off. So, come on, man. That's paint mixed with water, and it's literally just wiping right off. Like, come on. I mean, this is unbelievable. If you don't believe it, try it. I mean, I'm literally wiping it with like a little bit of Baby Magic soap and water for window tinting, which you make it very mild to begin with. There's barely any soap in there. It's mostly water. You're basically just making it as like a non-stick slip solution for the tint. And I just wiped paint off that just dried on there for a week. So I'll show you another thing too. Basically, this is like a pole saw. It's like a little chainsaw on a pole. I actually use Marvel Mystery Oil, the red stuff. And when I put it in here, I didn't realize it was leaking out. So this is Marvel Mystery Oil that's been on here for a couple months. Probably at least 2 months, right? In the 95-degree heat. Literally, wipes right off. I mean, where else are you ever gonna get a floor that does that? Okay, oil that's been dried on there for at least 2 months. Well, I'm saying 2, but it's probably at least 2 months. And this is, like I said, it's 95 degrees in here, and it gets even hotter. It's 95 degrees outside. It's hotter out, you know, in the garage, and it's just wiping right off. And again, I'm gonna leave some links in the description for all the tools and everything that I used and the paint itself. And highly recommend this stuff. Rust Bullet, best paint I've ever used in my life. If you already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do. Like this video, make sure to give me a like. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the section down below. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.